Chapter 13 A Stab in the Dark. In the crack beneath the Blake Hill mansion, Tristan bleeds out on the floor. You frantically apply pressure to the wound. I just called 911. Stay with me, Tristan. Just a little longer. Do my best. Blood gushes between your fingers, soaking through her clothes. Blood pressure down on the wound. You hold your hand tight against her side, keeping the pressure tight. The blood continues to pour. An EMT should be coming soon, any minute. Not like I'm going anywhere. You tear a strip of cloth off her shirt, then hold it to her side, soaking as much blood as you can. How does it look? Just a flesh wound, nothing a princess can handle. You're a bad liar. Tristan laughs swiftly, her voice beginning to falter. She leans forward, motioning you closer. I need to tell you something, in case I don't. I'm listening. I wanted to show you my home, my family. You still can't. You still can. We're all going. We'll go together, okay? After you get better. That would be nice. As you hold back your tears, you hear voices from above. You scream at the top of your lungs. Down here! We need help! A moment later, two EMTs rush into the crypt. Mike, get the gurney. You see, Tristan, you're gonna live. You follow the two EMTs upstairs. As they load Tristan into the back of an ambulance, one of them looks at you. You should let me take a look at that gash on your head. Don't worry about me, focus on her. Don't worry about me, just focus on saving her. You'll climb into the ambulance, holding Tristan's hand the entire ride across town. Not long after you arrive at St. Mark's Hospital, you jog alongside the EMTs as they race Tristan through a set of double doors. Female, 30, stabbing victim in critical condition, puncture wound on the left side, possibly penetration of the abdominal aorta. Surgeon and orderlies meet the EMTs rushing Tristan to the OR. A nurse intercepts you as you follow. Sorry, but you can't go back there. Yes, I can. She's my wife. And we're gonna take good care of your wife, okay? But to do that, we need you out of the way so we can do our jobs. I can help. She needs me. I can't just... Rose. Her father's voice cuts through the lobby. She rushes towards you and takes you by the shoulders. What the hell happened? Whose blood is that? Who blood is this? Where's Tristan? Well, she got hurt. And it's all my fault. All at once, the floodgates burst open. The tears you were holding back started to stream down your face. A few minutes later, you manage to calm down. My father sits beside you in the waiting room, listening intently as you catch your breath. her breath. Catch her up, sorry. What the hell were you thinking going in there without backup? There was a life on the line. I knew I was supposed to stay away, but we were so close to catch him. Relax. You're not in trouble here, though. I might be later after I speak with the mayor. Just take a deep breath. The situation under control. I've been keeping my ear on the police scanner. NYPD's got a dozen units on site now. Anything about the killer? The sign of him. It's like he just vanished. Damn it! Tell them to get dogs out there to sniff for blood. Tristan stabbed him with Rose. Stop. Let someone else worry about the grunt work. You need rest. How can I rest when Tristan might not make it through the night? We're going to help her. Let the doctors handle Tristan. I assume you're not going home tonight? Yeah, that's a hard no. I'll let your uncle know. After that, you can give me a proper statement for the report. My father heads outside to call Uncle Tommy. You sit back in the chair and stare at the buzzing fluorescent lights overhead. How did this get so messed up? The next morning you awake in the chair beside Tristan's bed, your hand in hers. Well, it looks like I have the right room. Marguerite, you yank your hand away as Marguerite enters. She pulls up a chair on the other side of Tristan's bed, looking on with a small smile. A very helpful nurse informed me that Tristan and her spouse were in here, though thought I should come meet my new brother-in-law. Yeah, I might have gotten a little carried away, but it was the only reason they let me stay that night here. How is she doing? Stable, but sedated. She was lucky. The doctors say the blade didn't penetrate as deep as they feared. She should recover in a few weeks. Thank God. I guess I should have expected this when she started helping you. Maybe I should have tried to stop her after all this. After all, this isn't your fault. If it's anyone's, it's mine. No, this is how it always goes with Tristan and me. It always has. She charges headlong into danger, gets hurt, and then I follow along behind, picking up the pieces. It's just like last time with Juliana. You mean? She told me her version last night. Before this, my, then you two really have grown close. Julie would be glad to see Tristan in good hands. That's right. You knew her too, didn't you? Yes, we were friends. It can't have been easy for you, your friend dying and your sister getting exiled. You have no idea. Did Tristan tell you much about the search or the investigation? Not really. There wasn't really time. It sounds like you could fill in the blanks. It would be interesting to hear your opinion on some questions I've had, and if you have time for that is. I can spare a few minutes. Let's start. Marjorie stands and leans against the window frame, absently gazing at the parking lot in silence. So you knew Juliana? Yes. She and I were friends before she and Tristan ever met. Our mothers ran in the same circles. She was several years older than me, but we bonded while suffering through insufferable tea parties and the like. I think Aaliyah Naracas mentioned something about that when we talked at the Iverson Gala. Did she? Ha! I suppose that the sort of thing she makes it her business to know. Juliana came from money. Her parents weren't quite royalty, but they owned the bulk of Jagnovia's energy industry at the time. That's why she and Tristan were arranged to be married. The bridging of two great houses, as my father would like to put it. At first, no. I hated the idea. My cool older friend marrying my stupid sister, the horror I must have fought with my father about it a dozen times. I take it he didn't listen. Luckily, the first time I saw Tristan and Julie together, I knew it was a good match for them and for Dracnovia. The fiery princess set to inherit the throne and re- revol- revolutionize the country. The bold young Harris with the wolf to make it happen. The story writes itself, but all but the happy ending. They would have changed things in Dracnovia, the two of them. She runs her finger along the windowsill, picking the speck of dust. You know what came next. Julie went missing. Tristan took the fall. I was left to pick up the pieces. You said something about the search. Yes, I led it. Hang on, this happened 8 years ago, right? That couldn't have been more than. You couldn't have been more than. No, let me do math here. 16. You have your dates correctly. I was only 16 when it happened. So, sorry, but how the hell does a teenager lead a search party? The night of the storm, I was holding my first fashion show in Draco's. I should have been the happiest. It should have been the happiest of my night of my life. But something felt wrong from the start. Perhaps because Tristan and Julie skipped it. In my experience, your gut's hardly ever wrong. So true. The next morning, I heard Tristan sail back into port after absconding with the family yacht. She was found unconscious on the docks. I marched to Tristan's room to a piece, give her and Julie a piece of my mind for missing my show. Instead, I found out Julie didn't return with her. My father ordered me to leave it alone. They were trying to control the narrative, you see, but I couldn't. My friend was missing. Your, your father and me at Brigham have a lot in common. What did you do? Acted like a teenager. I called a press conference, told the country your favorite countess is missing at sea. Anyone with a boat, meet me at the docks. I bet your father was furious. Truly an understatement. My father met me at the docks with a dozen royal guards, tried to arrest me for piracy. You're kidding. He would arrest his own daughter. My people did not like My people do not like breaks in official protocol. But when hundreds of boats showed up, including Juliana's family, my father had no choice but to act like it was his idea all along. Jack was bitterly shaking her head. The search was chaos. Hundreds of ships scouring 1,000 miles of coastline in the bitter cold. Actually, that's something I'd like to ask you about as a detective. Okay, shoot. Not sure, not sure how much help I'd be, but I can try. Am I right in thinking circumstances like that would make it easy for someone to taper, tamper with evidence? What makes you ask that? When we eventually found the body, it was 600 miles from where she'd gone overboard against the current. I hate the implication, but do you think someone would have moved her body? Mm, it's tricky to say. Yeah, it's tricky with many people out there. A a decentralized search party can actually make something like that more difficult. It harder to get away with shady stuff in broad daylight. What about a bunch of people working together? Some kind of planned conspiracy? I mean, anything's possible, but at the end of the day, I'm just speculating. You were there. Your guts what matter. It's a shame you weren't part of the investigation. You've got a much better bedside manner than the expe- and spectators who were. What do you mean? The investigation was a nightmare for starters. There wasn't much of one. After we found her body, everything changed. They weren't looking for the truth. They were starting with the answers they wanted and working backwards. I take it your country is also familiar with such sterling investigative methods. Some things are the same everywhere. For 2 weeks, the Justice Office investigated perhaps half a dozen interviews. I couldn't believe it. And when public pressure ramped up, they started looking to close the inquiry seized on one answer Tristan had given in her statement. What answer was that? They asked if she tied the topsail line before going to bed. She said yes. Then they asked her a few more times, again and again, are you really sure? Wait, so that thing about the rope came from the investigators first, not Tristan. They coached a confession out of her? That's what I've said for years, but Tristan didn't see it that way. She wouldn't if they were good at it, those bastards. It's my fault. I should have done more. You were 16. You did what you could at the time. I could have spoken up. I could have aired my doubts about the investigators, gone to the press, something. Hey, don't be so hard on yourself. I think self-blame runs in the family. Someone set her up. It's not adding up. Someone set her up. You really think so? That's your opinion professionally? I'll tell you the same thing I told Tristan. Everything I've heard about this thing sounds fishy as hell. Marjorie finds casting a glance towards the sleeping Tristan. I just wish I could convince her of that. You're not going to be able to convince her of anything as long as she wants to blame herself. Maybe you will help me to clear that particular hurdle. I can try, but we both know your sister's a stubborn mule sometimes. That she is. I'm grateful she has you in her life. I'm just sorry it led to this. Just then, your phone buzzes with a fresh text from Lou. Lou always interrupting. Oh my god, interrupting moments. Heads up, Brigham and Thompson are coming to the agency in an hour. Oh, I'm not at the agency, so in case you can think of anyone who might like to be at that meeting, hypothetically. Message received. Thanks, Luke. You grab your jacket and stop by Tristan's bedside. Wake up soon, okay? You bend and press your lips gently against Tristan's brow. A simple tear escapes your eyes as you whisper, "Hi for me, please. I miss your stupid jokes already. I love you." Tristan's eyelids flutter, but she doesn't stir. You turn to head for the door. Before you go, I should mention Tristan's mother called this morning. She wanted updates about on the case since news reached Jacnovia. Not sure I like where this is going. Yeah, me either. They know about her injury, but the second she's well enough to travel, she's been summoned home to Jacnovia. Oh. The foreign affairs officers would like like her to face disciplinary evaluation for recent events as a representative of Jacnovia. Seriously, they exiled her. Why the hell do they care how she lives her life? Let's just say there are those in Jacnovia who feel banishment was too light of a punishment and they'd like a second chance. Oh my bro. What happens what'll happen to her? I'm not sure. All I know is when this it's over, I am to put Tristan on a plane home. I just thought you should be aware. You swallow hard, processing Madrid's words, then turn on your heels and head out the door. You're waiting on the curb when Uncle Tommy pulls up and steps out of his van. He immediately pulls you into a hug. "Hey kid, how are you? I stopped by last night, but you were out cold. Yeah, yes, it was a very long day." Amber pokes her head out of the window. You give her a pat on the head. I see you brought company. I thought she'd help cheer you up. Uncle Tommy pulls you in tight for another hug. Then the two of you climb into the van. As Uncle Tommy drops you to the agency, you replay last night's event over and over in your mind. Your eyes begin to sting. My father was right. We shouldn't have gone in without backup. This wasn't your fault. You made a tough call in a bad situation. You use second guessing it now. Eyes forward, right? You give a little nod and wipe your eyes. Amber pokes her head in from the back seat, then nudges you. I'll be fine, girl. Don't worry. Look, I know I can't convince you to come home with me and rest up. Just promise me you'll take it easy after this. I need to catch this guy. Again, we don't know if he's a guy. He stabbed Tristan. He tried to kill me. I will be there when they put the cuffs on him. You know I'm trying this. You know I'm saying this out of love, but that's your ego talking, pride, fantasy. So what? Aren't you always telling me the best detectives are the ones who give a damn? Tommy, I know you're just looking out for me, but I have to do this. You understand that, right? I do. I just want you to be safe, kid. I can't bear another rose. Uncle Tommy drops you off outside the agency. You take the steps up two at a time, fists clenched at your side. Inside Luke head toward turns as you march straight over to Genovesi's closed office door. You hear raised voices over inside. Let me get, yep. I guess tops of it. Made myself clear. Made myself clear. This is your career we're talking about. You could be brought up on a dozen charges. If you have listened to Rose, follow the leads he found. I don't need you or Rose to tell me how to run my case. Yeah, but have you caught the guy? Have you followed up on any leads? No. You bang open the door. After it's my case. No. I'm not doing this. We just had this conversation the day before yesterday. You were removed from the case. Yeah, since then, I found the killer's lair. Our partner took a knife for this case. Oh, now she's your partner. She's always been my partner, you bitch. Damn straight. And she's done a hell of a lot more for this case than you. The only thing you two accomplished last night was jeopardizing my investigation. Were you there? No. Did you call in for backup? No. Jeopardized. I found the guy and chased him. Tristan's injury injured him too. That's a nice way to spin letting him get away. That's enough. I agree. Either let us work this case, or I'll go to the press and then I'll start calling in favors. There are a lot of people in this town who owe her. She could make your life hell if she wanted. Your re-election prospects won't look so hot after I get the DA to reconcile her endorsement. Reconcile, I believe. Something tells me it wouldn't take much now that they know about your affair with victim number 2. You're serious, aren't you? Over my dead body. Over my dead body. Hell yes, I am. There are lives at stake here. 3 people are dead, and you need to care about that more than donations. Brigham shakes his head and turns to stare out the window. He rubs his temple, looking exhausted. It didn't start out this way. You know, I used to get gruff or goof for not giving donors the time of day. I ran an anti-corruption for Pete's sake. There's still time to fix this. Fine, work the case, but I still need to control optic, so the NYPD will bring the agency in as consultants. Externally, you're just lending a hand. Internally, I expect the NYPD to give rules whatever assistance is needed. Sir, is this a joke? Just yesterday you said... That's what he said yesterday. He's talking about right now. I know what I said, Captain. I've changed my mind. The agency is taking point from here on out. It says I need... Yeah, faster evidence processing. We're racing against the clock here. If the NYPD could help us get results faster, it would be a big help. For real. I'll see what I can do, but no promises. I'm not exactly a lab rat. That's a shame. If you were a lab rat, you might have actually been useful. Enough bickering. Get out there and get it done. Don't make me regret this. After Captain Thompson and the maid leaves, you visit Luke at his desk as he flips through a stack of papers, files, and news about the house. Yeah, but it'll be so much easier if these files were digitized. I've been crawling around sorting through cardboard boxes from Public Works since 4 a.m. Poor Luke. You really went the extra mile on this. What was I gonna do, sleep while Tristan was fighting for her life? How is she doing, by the way? She's alive, but still sedated. A heavy silence fills the room. Luke clears his throat. Listen, for what it's worth, you're like the least crabby semi-boss I've ever had. So I'm glad you're not dead. I'm glad you're on my team. Alright, don't make it weird. Too late. Hey, you're the one who got all touchy-feely. That's true. Whatever, let me just show you what I've got. Okay. Property records confirm the original manor that sat on 16 Blake Hill Drive belonged to a guy named Matthias Blake. That sounds familiar. Yeah, he knows him. Yeah, we know him. Rich industrialist founded the Hanamura, died in the mansion fire with his family, staff, and a bunch of other cultists. Yeah, wow, you're good at this. Of course I am. I'm a detective, bro. I try. So, are those the remains I found in the basement? The people from the old cult? Hard to say. I couldn't find any records of bodies being recovered after the fire in 1956, but they blamed that on the heat. However, the Blake Hill Preservation Society built the manor on top. Turns out they had plans to turn it into a historical site. Had, as in no longer. No movements been made for a while. Been caught up in red tape for a couple decades. Can you tell me anything about Preservation Society or the cultists who died in the Preservation Society? Not much. More than before. Non-profit owned the house since the 70s. There's not much on record but about them. You think they're in on it? If you were tearing up a mansion and rebuilding on top of it, you'd have to be pretty lucky to miss a murder basement and bomb shelter. I think it's more likely that they bought the land because it was there and they built the mansion to hide it. Ruby might have more answers for you. She's at the house now processing everything. When you arrive at the property, it's swarming with law enforcement, though through the window you can hear the police dogs bark as news helicopters circle the area. At least the cops are on our side this time, I hope. You head down to the crypt's halogen bulbs and triples cast stock lights across the crime scene. Eunice Reese's body has already been removed. You're out of the hospital. That's right. Ruby hurries over and throws her arms around you. Hi, Ruby. Good to see you, too. She pulls back, then whacks you repeatedly with a package of cotton swabs, uttering her words. First of all, ow, what was that for? Oh. Stop getting into fights with people who are trying to kill you. Your eyes sweep the room, skulls decorating the walls, dresses, blood stain the ground nearby. You can't help but remember, you don't have to be here if you. I'm fine. What have you got on the skulls? Well, they're really they're really well preserved, and they've been here a long time. Pretty sure they even boiled and bleached any chance they belong to the cult member who died here. Doubtful. They've been down here for decades, but there is no sign of, of fire damage. However, I can tell you this much: they're all women, all murdered. That one there even has knife marks in the eye socket. Hmm. Sounds like hmm. Sounds like the hand of Monolith. Hmm. This stuff me. This stuff me. Hmm. I'm gonna say the hand of Monolith never disappeared. Maybe one of their members didn't die in the fire with the rest. Instead, he continued Lake's teachings. Again, we don't know if it's a male or a female. We never saw their face. But I'm gonna just say it right now. I have a very bad feeling it's that Eleanor is same Eleanor person that would explain the new skulls, and the murder victims. The skulls aren't the only thing of note. We discovered multiple bodies buried below our feet. I'll have more once there have been exhumed. Inhumed. So Sunday Bethany and Reese weren't the only victims. You point to the bloodstain on the stone by the door. Make sure you get a sample of that. It's from the killer. Tristan got a good swipe in. Already done. It's a lot. It's a lot better sample than we got from the knife on. So if he's in the system, we'll find him. Then let's hope he's in there, and in the meantime, we'll process all as if he's not. I want these remains packed up and ID'd as soon as possible. Have a look for anything you find against open missing persons cases from 1956 on. I want to know who these people are, who they died, and when. Until then, I have him comb surveillance footage at NYU. Someone tries resolve us until around the time he was killed. What are you gonna do? Join the search team. I doubt we find anything, but I have to try. Before you go, can you help go over the crime scene? Once from the time you were here, maybe there's something still missing. Okay. Good idea. I've got a few minutes. Walk me through what you've done. Well, obviously the text and I have taken photos and have removed the body. Ah, yes, obviously. I wasn't sure if Luke was coming, and we both know how he gets the bodies. Yeah, Spanish. Grossed out. If he wasn't busy, he'd be here in a heartbeat. Body or not. Anyways, after that, I conducted a thorough search and sample of the walls, floor, and altar. Go on, test me. See how I did. Alright. Let's talk about the wall. Look at the walls. You make your way to the wall and you're expecting the brickwork. It looks scorched and blackened. I assume you're carbon testing this. Of course, what do you take me for? However, I say it lines up with the story about a fire in the 50s. The scorch marks are old. There are handprints in a few spots here too. Yeah, we saw one on the bomb shelter door too there, out there. It's dark, but the science behind it is fascinating. The fire burns so hot that, well, I don't need to hear that and will test detail. I would have taken it. You characterized the scorched marks laying in clothes, so we definitely had some cultists burned to death down here, but where are those bodies? Alright. Altar or floor? Altar or floor? Let's go with the floor. You crouch to expect a muddy floor is covered in footprints, and evidence flags. We don't see no evidence flags. I've got soil samples every 6 inches. Anything interesting? Some fibers, a couple bone fragments. Not sure who they belong to yet. Any idea how many people have been killed down here? Too many. We've unearthed about a dozen skulls so far. The weird part is that the skulls are all kept in multiple of threes. Like the three-faced Samara. Alright. You kneel by the altar, expecting the withered stone. Any idea how old the altar is? Old, ancient, really. I wouldn't be surprised if you told me we had a foolish artifact on our hands. Maybe Mathis Blake brought it back from his travels. It also shows some signs of heat weathering, so I think it was here before any fire. There's a lot of dried blood in the cracks too. Besides Reese's, I mean, I bet this hunk of rock could tell us some horror stories. As you finish up, you look around the floor, satisfied. Well, so far, I'd say you covered all your bases. Oh, good. I mean, damn, I guess. Or I was too. I was sure you'd find something I missed. I might still. One last question. Did you look behind the bricks? No, wait, should I have? I mean, yeah, they could be hidey holes. That's how we found the key for the bomb shelter. You pace along the wall, stopping to try a few stones with the toe of your shoe and find a hollow space behind one. Bingo! What have we here? It takes some effort, but you manage to remove a brick and pull out a tatty old cigar box. You pop open the lid, and inside you find mystery journal. Read it. May 14th. B mother came to visit. Notice a hide a key under the frog from the van might be useful. We left her apartment for 1 hour. Went to com, con, convenience store for cat food. Must be out here out again. Feeds her cat a lot. Very caring. I was working in Kay's yard when she stopped to talk to me. He makes me nervous. I think I need to find someone else. You put the journal down briefly and look at Ruby. What did you find? The diary of a stalker. You flip through a few more pages. There are a couple dozen notes spanning a few years. You see references to the habits of a dozen women identified by single letters and repeated mentions of a van. The killer seems mm, mm, mm. I'm really leaning to very being picky, but I'm gonna say works the blue collar solid job. Something with equipment. He keeps mentioning a van. That could explain how he got close to the victims and why he's built like a guy who breaks boulders for a living. Anything else interesting? Yeah, there's blood on some of these pages. Ruby takes a journal and snaps a few photos of it before slipping it into an evidence bag. Okay, we got them all. Let's go. Gotta catch them all. Swab that thing for DNA and fingerprints when you're done. Give it to Luke to digitize. We can check the blood against victims once we have all the samples. I did told you you'd find something. You could call it my gut feeling. Let's hope my luck holds up with the search teams. You give the place one last glance, memorizing memories of last night rattling around in your head. Then shake it off and head back up in the light of day. After a full day of fruitless canvassing and wading through databases, you return to the hospital to visit Tristan. But find her room empty. You quickly grab a nurse from the hallway Oh, great. Excuse me, where's the patient who was in this room? I'm afraid she's gone. What do you mean, gone? What do you mean, gone? What do you mean, gone? She was stable this morning. I didn't mean she checked herself. I didn't mean she checked herself out earlier. We tried to. I didn't mean she checked herself out earlier. We tried to stop her, but she made quite a ruckus. You whip out your phone, firing off a text to Tristan. Where the hell are you? Got sick of the hospital food. Decided to cook for myself. I speak from experience. Hospital food is great. Not excellent, but great. I understand that, but having it every single day, you like it can get a little like boring, but understandable with the get the right person. Then actually, I was about to call you dinner at my place. You're at home? Tristan, you were just stabbed less than 24 hours ago. A stark reminder of my morality. I'm coping. I'm copying my DM. Okay. Yeah, well, I'm gonna kick your ass. I'm sorry. So dramatic. You wanna see dramatic? Just wait until I get there. So you are coming. Wonderful. I'll set the table for 2 white wine or a red. I'll take a red wine, but I'm still kicking your ass. WTV has a stronger bottle. I'm gonna break it over your stubborn head. What it is, see you soon. I'm kicking your ass. I'm kicking your ass when I get there. You barrel through the unlocked door of Tristan's penthouse. Not long after, get your stuff. I'm taking you back to. But you stop at the setup before you. Tristan casually sits before a candlelit dinner for two, a wine glass in hand. Evening. Care to join me? Yes, I care to join you. You're going back to the hospital. What is this? Isn't it obvious? I'm sweeping you off your feet considering this my way of showing things for last night. Considering it's my way of showing things for staying by my side last night. She winces as she rises from her seat, laying on the table for support. You spy bandages bunched up under her clothes around her ribs. Why are you such an idiot? I don't want to say that, but this is sweet, but you need to rest. For real. It's sweet, but she needs to rest. Your concern is noted, but I assure you I'm fine. You wasted just getting up. You're not fine. You're okay at the most. In fact, when we're done eating, I'm ready to get back to work on the case. No, you're not. No, you're not. Like hell you are. What are you gonna do if we catch up to this guy again? Beat on him? I can't handle myself. Prove it. You look around the living room, then grab a fencing file lying nearby. You hold it out ready to fight. Oh. Spar me right now. If you can knock me down, I'll sit and eat dinner with you. If not, you're going back to the hospital. Deal? You're being ridiculous. Besides, I'm a trained fencer. You got 3 seconds to quit making excuses before I knock you out and drag you to the car. Jason grabs her own file off a rack on the wall, then whirls and strikes. Don't say I don't want you. I'm guard. You effortlessly bat her attacks aside. Tristan's face registers with surprise as she stumbles, caught off guard. Move off to the slow there, princess. Okay. I'm not on the couch. I'm not on the couch. You leap onto the coffee table and smack the file from her hands, putting Tristan off balance. She falls backwards onto the couch. You step down off the coffee table and lower the point of your sword to her throat, towering over her. I think I made my point. Now get up and let's go to the hospital. Who says we're done? She grabs your sword and rips it aside. The two of you struggle on the sofa until you wind up on top of her. Suddenly, their faces are an inch apart. You gaze into her eyes and your own begin to sting again. I was worried about you, you idiot. I thought you were... You choke on your words, unable to finish your thought. Tristan slides her hand against your cheek. I'm sorry. That wasn't my intention, truly. It's my fault. I should have never put you in that danger. What I did, I'd do 1,000 times again if it meant saving you. No, not now. No. I appreciate it 100%, but I do not want to see the person I love, the person I care about, hurt and put themselves in jeopardy. Well, you shouldn't. It's my job to protect you. So, who's protecting you? Don't do that to me, Tristan. Don't do that to me. I can protect myself. I know you can. You've been doing it quite a while, but is that truly what you want? No, I want... Yes. I want you. Okay. She cups the back of your neck, bringing your lips close together. You had me all along. You search forward, closing the remaining distance. Your mouth unites as your body melts into hers. Say it again. Her lips find your ear, whispering over and over again. I'm yours. I'm all yours. Her kisses move to your throat, sending chills down your spine. God, I wanted to do this from the moment we met. She flips you, swapping positions on the couch, her body over yours at the scent of her intoxicating. If you want to stop, just say the word But if you don't, her eyes blaze into yours, hungry for more. Your heart quickens at the thought. Oh, come on. I'm literally like torn right now. I'm torn because she was just stabbed 24 hours ago. I'm torn because I want her to like see easy, but she's uh fine, fine, I'll do it. I don't want to stop far from it. Surprise focus across Tristan's face just for a moment, and then her eyes darken with desire. Her kiss sears your lips, and the fiery heat warms your body, smoldering just below your navel. You have no idea how long I've imagined this. I have some idea. You curl your legs around her hip, pulling her close to gas, rolling her hip against your thigh. Ah, why should why don't I show you exactly what I've imagined? You press against just below Tristan's earlobe and she shares in anticipation on my ears. See what you did there? You smacked and kissed a path down her throat, darting your tongue out over her racing pulse point. Yes. Her head rolls back, urging you to continue, and her body melts in your arms. You sneak a hand beneath her clothes, your fingernails gently working up her back. Tristan shivers with pleasure. A lifetime of being pampered, being in charge, but deep down, I think you'd like someone taking care of you. Taking control, sorry. Only when it's you. Tristan lifts a hand to your face, brushing her fingers along your cheek. When I imagine us like this, there was usually a bed involved. Looks like go to a room, show me. Tristan grins, pulling you into another kiss before guiding you across the apartment to a bedroom. What? Shirt off now. Goodness, so blunt with the odors. I might need a little help, with the injury and all. There's something I can help you with. We step closer and tangle your hands in her shirt, pulling her towards you to capture her mouth in a kiss. Her answering groan is muffled as you slip your hand under her shirt. You break away to follow her fingers with your lips as you peel the fabric away. That feels cuttable. When you reach her wound, you gently peel away the fabric with the barest of touches just above the bandage. You're lucky this wasn't worse. Hell, I'm lucky. It's true. As Tristan catches your meaning, an odd expression flashes across her face. She quickly recovers with her trademark smirk. You are indeed. Just think of how boring your job would be without me. No one can match my zip. You roll your eyes, pulling her into the sleek satin sheets with you. She straddles you, toying with the hem of your shirt. What about your bedroom techniques? Is that unmatched too? What you would be the good detective? as she positions herself over your hips, you look up at her, thinking the sight of the sight before you. The next day, your eyelids are open to a gentle breeze from the open window across the pillow. She smiles at you. Good morning. It is. What do you hear? She leans over and plants a soft kiss on your lips. You smile, then notice an open photo in her lap. Is that mine? Guilty. Luke said he gave you a foul on the manners history. I guess I just wanted a peek. I didn't think it necessarily. I didn't think it necessarily to wake you. Yeah, because your bed is really comfortable. I should hope so. It costs more than my car. You notice a cup of coffee on the nightstand lying against her. You reach across her chest, picking it up and take a long sip. Not sorry. I need the caffeine, especially if we're gonna talk about last night. Alright then, let's talk. She closes the folder and leans back against the headboard, giving you her full attention. What happened last night was wonderful. I'm glad you feel that way. I'm feeling a lot right now. Are all good, I hope. Good, frazzled, exhausted. Look, whatever it is, I think it's best if we table it just until we can wrap this case out. Focus on one puzzle at a time. Fine by me. I'm looking forward to quoting you properly. Suddenly, my great words come back to you, and your smile instantly fades, just and groans, reading your mind. Let me guess, you talked to my sister. You know I've been summoned back to Dracovia. Yes. Yes. She seemed to think returning home, something would put you in danger, that people might use it to take another shot at you about Juliana. I expect she's probably right, but I don't have a choice except to face them. Do you think you'll get a fair trial? Doubtful. 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 However, I need to face the consequences for what happened, whatever they may be. Yes, we can do it. We've been over this. Yes, we have. And I've told you what I think. And I told you it's difficult. It's different in Dracovia. Then Dracovia is wrong. Tristan sighs, turning her gaze away. You sit up and take her hand. When I lost my dad, everybody wanted to tell me how I should feel. It's okay to be sad, or what they need is a good cry, or you have to move on. But you know what? I felt anger because no one could give me a straight answer about why he was suddenly gone. And guilt, which I carried every day because I'm alive and he's not. I'm familiar with survivor's guilt. Yeah, I know. And I think you mix that guilt with your memories about what happened. Are you saying I'm looking for reasons to blame myself? Pretty much yes. Pretty much yes. I think you want to blame yourself even if there isn't a reason because it's the only way to make sense of it. Mr. Gay's brow furrowed with doubt and confusion. What do you want me to say here? I want you to admit that there's a chance this isn't your fault, that you've been wrongly accused by anyone, including yourself, by everyone, including yourself. I don't think I can do that. Try for me. Tristan closes her eyes as your words cut to the core. Am I important to you? Yes. Then stop blaming yourself. Please. Do you want to be with me? I do. Then you have to stop being so cruel to yourself. Right now, it's me or the self-torture beside. But I can't, remember. I tried so hard, but I can't. Remember if I tied that damn knot. I think you do remember. Marjorie told me about the investigation. They put the idea about the knot in your head. They coaxed you into a confession. That's not what happened. Don't let them make you second guess yourself. You know that you're them, and you know it now. You need to trust yourself. Her eyes go distant. For a moment, you see the wheels turning in her head. Trust. My God, it's a trust. What are you talking about? The thing, the group, the one that owns the house. She grabs the folder and sits up onto the edge of the bed, tearing through paperwork. You read over her shoulder as she searches for something. Aha! The Blake Hill Preservation Society. Did you look into these people yet? Luke did. He said there's not much there. It's just some kind of non-profit that owns the mansion. No, that's just it. It's not a non-profit. It's a charitable trust. Luke didn't find any records about them because he didn't know the right questions to ask. Neither did Reese. Questions like what? And it's a charitable reminder trust or a donor advised trust. Any sponsoring entitled on file who listed as the beneficiary. Would any of these Chisholm comes to grab her laptop off the desk, and the two hunch over it together. Let's try the probate records first. What do you want to know? Okay, what's translated for real? Huh? It looks like the preservation study is run by a protected cell company, something called EB Holdings. So, who owns that? Impossible to find out. That's the whole point of a PCC. You don't have to disclose your shareholders. Great. That's great. Though I wonder if there even been party to a civil suit with a government entity that would mean shows a few keys, documents flashing on screen, and finally clap her hands. It looks like they're a 1099 for a groundskeeper company called Greenhouse Landscaping that does work at that address, owned by the Preservation Society. It's awfully fishy to me. It's quite the little bureaucratic labyrinth they built here. Whoever's behind this knows their way around a boardroom. If you find me anything about the landscaping company, do they have any employees on file who mows the grass? She scowls through poorly scanned documents, squinting at the screen. Look like a Woski T. Why does that ring a bell? I'll tell you why, because we just cracked the damn case. Well, guys, thank you for joining me. Hit that like button, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification so you never miss an upload. And if you like this kind of stuff, share it with your friends, your family, anyone who likes this kind of content, or really all the content on my channel. And also share with them so they can share with their friends and help grow the Champ Nation. Till next time, the Champ out. Peace.